Where the hell is the battery on this thing? Not legal for trade? What the shit? No, I can trade. How is this illegal for trade? What the hell? Okay, how many kilos we got, or how many grams? I like America, but America, I gotta say something. You chose the measurement system that only 3 other countries on this planet use. Meanwhile, the metric system, which is superior, which a liter of water is a kilogram. A liter is a kilogram of water. 1,000 cubic centimeters is a liter. Holy crap! 1,000 kilograms is a ton. Why did we not use this? They're so interchangeable. Anyway, here's what we do. We do that. 6,700. 6730. 6737. Okay, now here's my formula. The weight. Now, weight, so 6737 minus 125, because each paper shedding weighs roughly 1 gram, and the box itself weighs 75 grams. So 50 rolls, 50 grams, minus 75, and you get 6,612 grams. Now, I have a very smart thing I did. So there's a thing called a wheat pen. I call it penny roll composition. We go look. So after that, we take that number, divide it by how many rolls. 132.24 grams. And we see that we have most likely a 12 to 38 ratio. And you take whatever number is on the left, and you multiply it by 2. So 24% copper. Which, so then we take 2,500 times 0.24. And again, you have an estimated production of 600 copper pennies in this box. And last time, we were off, not even including the woodies and the wheaties, we were off by a whopping 5 pennies. Alright. So this box looks like it's average weight. I've seen collectors do this all the time, where they take a weight and they weigh, or they take a scale and they weigh the boxes. That bad boy can go up to 66 pounds, which is the equivalent of about 4 boxes. You can cram 4 boxes on that. That is nuts. I remember I'm like, oh, I found one at like Office Depot, and it only went up to like 19 pounds. 66 pounds for a weight is insane. Alright. Let's shut up and start opening this box. Where is it now? I'm gonna try to get myself a video. Where's that knife? There it is. Right next to my little tractor. R90. No unders on that group. No unders. Hello, viewer. You guys see this, right? That's not a penny? I don't think that's a penny. You know, I'm gonna let you guys screenshot this. Look at this, Loopies. Look at that. Look at it. I did not plant this. The box was sealed when I opened it. Oh, and there's an ender. Look at that. Look at that. A wheat penny ender and a dime ender. I've been searching boxes for 2.5 years. I've never seen a dime ender. I don't care what anybody says. We're switching that ender out. Yoink. Yoink. By the way, that's actually normal, and it's a little bit uncommon. It's starting to become more common. Dimes and pennies are like very, very closely the same size, so that issue can actually occur. I've seen it happen dozens of times. So yippee, we just made money on this box. I'm just placing a whole pile of dimes. All these dimes I found in penny rolls. I found $1 of dimes so far. Let's go. Not enough to make any difference in profit, but still, it's nonetheless, that's funny. Okay. And then, of course, we got a weedy ender. Let's see what you got. Hello, Loopies. I don't know why I'm saying hello. Let's see, if that's like a 59 Weedy, that would be insane. 58 Denver. Number 1. Oh, it's a 44S. Yay. Another one, Weedy. 44S. Well, I think that's the most common S-minted Weedy. It takes a while, so that oh. 17 Philly. That dime was so funny. Yeah, if you look at enough penny rolls, you will find those dimes. I even find foreign pennies from other countries in those rolls. It's so funny. I'm just keeping a stack of dimes that I find from penny rolls. Estimate. Philly. Thanks for the like, whoever did that. Woody. There's no 9. Another S-Mint. Oh, there we go. So, by the way, not really like bad news, but I will say, a couple of weeks ago, I said I'll be doing 2 boxes on the weekend days. We're not going to be doing that. And not because, you know, oh, I'm tired. It's because of supply restraint. I went to my shipment last... Hey, 2 people like this. Thank you. 2, oh, there's another Wheatie. Might be another one. Might be 2. Oh, no. No, there's not. Oh, my. You're old. 1917. 1917 Philadelphia. Now, a couple people might be wondering, oh my gosh, you just found rare. That's actually most likely not that rare. The Philadelphias are not rare at all. Like 17 Philadelphia. I have one, don't I? Yeah, it's 1917, 196 million made. That's a lot. Now, here's the thing, right? I want you to remember this. My old rate of how many boxes I searched was 2 boxes a month. Now I'm doing 1 box a day. So even though I'm not doing 2 penny boxes per weekend day, that's still a lot of pennies. Right now, ever since I started this daily streak, I have done the equivalent of a year's of penny box searching. A year. Let me remind you, by the way. Actually, let's see. Coinbatch data. I started on the 18th of May. And yeah, I did some bonus boxes. I have done 25 boxes since the 18th, and it's the 7th. Remember, I do roughly 24 a day. And I just did 24 a year with a couple of bonus boxes sprinkled on for my birthday and Christmas. I have searched the equivalent of a year. So again, a box a day versus 2 a month versus 17 Philly. That's still a pretty good rate, and you're getting a huge amount of penny box searches. Honestly, again, I think if I do 2 boxes per weekend day, I'm going to strain my supply and strain relationships because I can get those boxes from the banks, but I need my relationships to last as long. If you make the banks upset, they will not give you anything. Not only, you know, like the biggest thing that I rely on is having a good relationship with the banks I go to, which I have. I have a good relationship right now where they literally trust me that I have counted the pennies to par, in which I do. I have machines that, you know, automatically dispense 50 rolls, or 50 pennies a roll, 50 rolls a box. Because here's, they're like, oh, we trust you. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to try to defraud a $4.3 trillion corporation. Not a good idea. Have you ever tried defrauding a $4.7 trillion corporation? I don't want to try it, and I don't want to find out. I mean, we literally saw what happened when some idiots tried to exploit a money glitch from Chase. Yeah, that didn't go well. Because I'm like, yeah, I'm not trying to be like, you know, I'm the authority type guy, or I'm Mr. Goody Two-Shoes. But again, in life, you gotta... Oh, there's another wheat penny. That's old. 1929. Nice. Look, yeah, 17 out of 29. But it's a Philadelphia, so those are actually pretty common. Nice. We might be getting some pretty good stuff this box. But I don't want to be like Mr. Goody Two-Shoes, but I'm just going to tell you right now. Alright, Mary, What did you say no to? And I'm like, no to, no, I had to fraud the corporation. Good. Because, like, listen, I have probably roughly $5,000 in assets. They have 4.7 trillion. That is 1,000 times 1,000 times 1,000 times 1,000. That is 1,000 to the 4th power. I don't stand a chance. You gotta pick your targets correctly. Not saying go for banks and defraud them. No, don't do that. That's not a good idea. Simple. Why would I ever do that? Because that would kill my supply of pennies. I don't want to do that. Stupid. Oh, there's another wheat penny. 57 Philly. That would be number 5. Oh my. We're getting a lot of wheat pennies. We'll watch it. Watch it as we get like none in the next like 10 boxes. I've had people in chat tell me they like it when I crush these rolls. These rolls will go down a chute. And when they go down that chute, they're going to end up in like a little tiny garbage can. Or like, you know, like those like little like office pails, and they like they're like netted garbage cans. I just found 12 wheat pennies in a roll. Oh my god. Yeah, that is nuts, by the way. My record was, I went to a Heartland Bank, and it was from a Heartland Bank in, Champaign, and I got like 9 wheat pennies in a roll, which is pretty rare. What happened is that most likely somebody dumped their collection, and you just got it. I kept getting a lot of wheat pennies, and that box broke my wheat penny record because I got like 27 wheaties in a box, which is extremely high. That's almost triple. I mean, from Central Illinois boxes. That's a great thing I like, is that we live in Central Illinois, so our statistics and rarities are going to be very close. There's another S-Mint. I like the S-Mints. They're not that rare or valuable. They're a Vice collectible for me. Another S-Mint? It is another S-Mint. It's got like a small S. I got a 1917 wheat penny, but it's got no mint mark, so it's actually pretty common. Bro was also from Heartland, Champaign. Huh. You know what? I'm going to be completely honest with you. Guess what? I am a data keeper, and I keep the data from every box location. This box was purchased on June 2nd, 2025, 405 North Broadway Avenue, Urbana, Illinois. That penny box, 27 wheat pennies found. (2101) West Springfield Avenue, Champaign, Illinois. That's the Heartland that box came from. 2101 West. Which one is that? I know 602 Vine. Vine Street one's like kind of like a smaller one in like a little neighborhood. I know where that's at. That Heartland box was purchased very, very close to another Chase. In fact, this box came from literally almost a stone's throw. Not really a stone's throw, but you can see that Heartland, I got those pennies from that location. Now, this guy lives in California, so you don't know what Heartland is. Heartland is a branch. However, I'm going to tell you this, by the way. Do not go to Heartlands in Bloomington. Anything like outside of Champaign, Urbana, they won't give you anything. Oh, and there's another viewer. Thank you. I used to get my boxes from Heartland, Eureka, Illinois, and they terminated it because of company policy changes. But I used to get bags from 405 Hershey in Bloomington, Illinois, but they canceled it because of issues. And you know what's awesome? Is that I used to go there for like bags of quarters. And just after I got my full W Mint quarter set, they stopped me. I was so close to not getting a full set. I almost have 2 full sets of Westies. I just need a Northern Mariana Islands quarter. For anybody that doesn't know, I know that look. That's an old wheat penny. Turn it over. 20 Denver. Yup, remember what I told you, chat. 20s and the Denvers and San Franciscos are rare. Oh, I got one. 49 million made. That's a rare one. I already got one. This looks like, oh, look, it doesn't look like that much. No, it's a good wheat penny. It's a 20 Denver. Only 49 million of these were struck. And there's probably a chance that only about a couple million of them actually exist. That's a good wheat penny right there. Yes. Remember, chat, I'm going to preach this many, many times. 1909 to like 1937 is a pretty good year for mint marks. People think like, here's the problem. People will find like a 1920 wheat penny, think it's very valuable. Yes, it's valuable. And it's like, no. The only way you're going to get like a Philadelphia value, a Philadelphia penny in that year bracket, is if it's like literally untouched. But there's a catch. The Denvers and the San Francisco varieties are a little bit more uncommon. Let me give you an example, right? That 1920 Denver wheat penny, 49 million were made. However, 1920S is a 46 million minted. 1920 was 310 million. 1920 Philadelphia, 310 million. 1920 Denver, 49 million. So the Denvers are actually, yeah, 42s are very common. Okay, so we got 5 wheat pennies. We should only have about, we're 10 rolls in. We should only have like 5 wheat pennies, and we got 2. No, we should have 2, but we have 5. You know what? Never ever get sad that you're gonna get a lot of 50s. 58 Denvers. You're going to get a lot of 47s. You're going to get a lot of 44s. It doesn't matter. They're still wheat pennies. I'll tell you a tip. You see how the older wheat pennies in the Denver and San Francisco varieties have a look to them. The ears are usually faded. When I say faded, I mean you can see that on another wheat penny. The ears have these stripes. Whereas this older wheat penny from Denver and San Francisco, it's got the stripes and the streaks across the top of the ears are completely gone and faded and merged into each other. Not all of them are like that. I just knew it was a rare wheat penny. That's how much of a no-life I am. I've been doing this for so long, I can tell you kind of the age bracket of a wheat penny on the reavers. However, not with 100% certainty because, again, there's always an exception. That's the biggest rule that people need to follow is that there's always exceptions. Yeah, going back to what you said earlier, Heartland Bank and Trust is pretty good, but the problem is you really don't want... They will shut you down if you push them. I would not withdraw more than 4 boxes a month from them. Here's the thing... Here's the thing, my biggest tip with searching, there's an estimate, is that, remember, a bank has to pay money out of their pocket to get you boxes. And they have to go out of their way to get you boxes. They don't have to do this. So, in my opinion, if you ever get a teller that's not being nice, just be nice to them because being rude is not going to do anything, right? I remember once I went to a bank, and this lady was screaming at the top of her lungs, saying, "Oh, you mother effers," and like that. I feel so bad Like, oh, these you mother effers, F you. Like, she was being aggressive, and the teller, who was just like 20-year-old, or she was in her 20s or 30s, she started to kind of cry. Luckily, like, just because I liked the bank I was going to, they're S-Mint. This box may be from the West Coast, or a little bit from the western part of the United States. Luckily, I was bringing donuts, and it made her day. Because here's the thing. I'm going to tell you this. It is not the teller's fault that you're being denied pennies. It's management. Now, this doesn't mean to go up to the management and piss them off. You're not going to go anywhere. Here's the thing. Even though I might seem like, oh, I'm a wussy, if you don't get boxes, cut your losses and leave. Cut your losses, find another place, and go. Don't argue with them. Don't give them anything. Don't give them any flack. Just leave. Like, with the time you could do... With the time, you know, you could take fighting with each other, you could just go to another bank and go get them. Go get more pennies. Again, it is not really the teller's fault that you're not getting any boxes necessarily. It's most likely from management. For example, the tellers at Heartland Bank, it's not their fault that I don't get boxes or bags that much. It's because management changed. It's because policies changed. By the way, if you want to know, I think the lady that was yelling at the bankers, 17 Philadelphia, I think, honestly, she was just too dumb to run a bank account, and she was blaming everybody up but herself. That was just awful. Honestly, if I need to say anything, respect people in the customer service industry. Like, respect people that deal with customers, because trust me, I know how bad customers can be. Most of them are not bad, because I work at a restaurant. There's 17 Philadelphia. And my boss, or my coworker, told me a story of when we had to ban this guy because he flipped his shit. Because you know what we did that was bad? We didn't jam his toast. If you don't know, we give... Oh, there's 17 Philadelphia. We give out jam packets, and you put the jam on your toast. We don't do that for you. I'm pretty sure that happens with most places. And you know, he's like, oh my god, really, like, oh my god, what are you doing? He's like, what's wrong? We're like, what's wrong? We're like, oh, the toast is not jammed. And apparently they gave him the packets. He threw the toast and walked out, and yeah, that guy got banned. But yeah. Oh, there's a 41 Philly. I'm such a no-lifer, I can tell you that... oh, there's a bicycle. Oh, there's two of them. Look at that. 41 Philly and 51 Denver. That would be number 8 and number 7 and number 8. I don't know. We also had to ban a guy because he was stalking one of the workers that we were at a restaurant. I will not go into too much detail because it's personal. There's an 09, by the way. But, yeah, that guy was a creep. But I'm going to be honest. When you work as a customer service personnel, like, I work as a dishwasher. I don't interact with that much customers. But even though I work only as a dishwasher, I have a respect. Like, after that, it's not like I never respected dishwashers, but now that I work this one, I respect the hard work that they do every day. Because while I'm not trying to demonize customers. That's not what I'm saying here. But while you eat your dishes, you gotta know that somebody back there is getting their hands all over other people's filthy plates. Like, I don't know, someone could have puked or pissed or whatever the hell they want to do on the plates. But I do my job, and I clean them off. Honestly, I don't really mind because I have an endless amount of water at my disposal. So if you get your hands dirty, you just wash your hands off, and boom, you're done. And after you work so long, you get used to it. Honestly, I get more disgusted at applying lubricant and grease to machinery parts than I do from washing dishes from other people. Bruh. I don't know why anybody would ask me, but if anybody wondered what the most nastiest thing I've ever seen in my workplace experience, somebody went into our bathroom and blew bloody boogers all over the frickin' mirror. 17 Philly. Like, seriously. And someone was like, oh, well, maybe it's an accident. I'm like, yeah, that's not an accident. Like, you have to plug your nose, look up, and just blow with the utmost might in the world. Like, that wasn't on accident. And the problem is, I'm like, dude, like, come on, dude. That's a biohazard. Like, blood. If you don't know, I've taken OSHA classes, so I take safety very seriously. To a point where some of my coworkers are like, oh, you're such a wuss. I'm like, well, buddy, there's a difference between being a wuss and not wanting to die by the age of 70. But I'm like, you know, blood is a biohazard because it can transmit HIV, it can transmit hepatitis B and C, which are, those 3 viruses are the easiest to transmit through blood. And I don't have to explain why AIDS and hepatitis are bad. Naturally, no one wants to have hepatitis or AIDS or HIV. But, yeah, I'm like, seriously. Why did... Like, who said, you know what, today... Oh, there's a wheat penny. Today I'm going to wake up and... Oh, there's 2 of them. Holy crap. That's lucky. $41 Philly. $55 Philly. No DDO. That'd be number 8 and 9. No, that'd be number 9 and 10, actually. That's box average right there. We're getting a lot of wheat pennies. Usually I only get 10, but my average, I think, is like 15, but I keep it at 10 because I usually don't crack 15, and I want to make myself feel happier. Yeah, there we go. I said it. I don't want to be a soy boy. There's 17 Philly. These 2025 pennies are going to get really rare. I haven't seen them. Honestly, I will say this right now. Loopsies? Loopsies, you live in Cali, so you're going to get 2025 pennies before any of us do. This is because 2025 pennies might be the last year of the penny. Please, end the penny off in next year. If you had to end the penny, I want it to go next year because next year they're going to make a special design for the penny. They should make a design combining all, like the wheat, memorial, and shield, and then send it off. That would be a better send-off. I don't want the penny to be ended. But if it has to, I want it to end off with a hitch. However, I'm going to make the suggestion. If the government was really smart, they would strike steel pennies. Now, before this, there is one con to this, is because a lot of coin machines, like the big bank-grade coin machines, have magnetic strips in them. How do I know this? Because I got one. Yeah, I find 2024. It's like I just found a 2024 just a couple of minutes ago. I have a Cummins Allison Jet Sort Model 2000. And it's able to take any coins except for large dollars and count them with like a 99.995% efficiency rating. That means for every 20,000 coins, it will only count 1 coin off. And I tested this, and it was true. Like, I ran 1,000 coins, 250 there's a bicentennial. 250 dimes, quarters, pennies, and nickels. And I calculated the efficiency rating, and it's true. It is a 99.995% rating. And I ran 100 tests. It took me like an hour. The machine it's big. I purchased it from Roscoe, Illinois, and I almost got ran off the road trying to go get it. It's 17 Philly. I'll show you guys here in a second. Give me a second. I'm going to show you it. So, you might be able to see it on my channel. There's boxes on this. Yes, my place is messy. This is my monster coin sorter. I saved a lot of money on this. This thing, again, it will sort about... Give me a second, chat. I'm going to show you how it works. So you get the coins in here, and it's going to spin it. And I put this colored vinyl on it. I did a detailed job. So the dimes are going to shoot out here. Then the next larger, the pennies. And this is why pennies and dimes get mixed up with each other, because they're the same size. And then you got your nickels, your quarters, and then your dollars, and then your half dollars. And then they're going to go under these green things, and these are like lasers. And they're going to hit the edges, and every time it passes, it sends it to the computer, which I'm pretty sure a lot of this is like analog. And it calculates it. So give me a second. I'm going to put that back on. If anything metal falls into this machine, like one of these. Oops. And I just... Wheat in a jar. That's nice. Now if I just push this. That's probably... That's not even steel. If I were like to push this. See, it gets stuck to the magnet. That's the only problem about steel pennies, is that the magnets would have to be removed on these industrial-sized coin machines. Actually, that's not even an industrial machine. When this machine runs, it pulls about, I think, like 6 amps. Oh, it does. It pulls 6 amps. Which makes it pulls more power than a refrigerator. Another thing to note about this machine, how many moving parts does it have? You might be saying 100 or 50. 1. It only has 1 moving part. If you guys don't know, the more moving parts a machine has, the more of a likelihood it has of breaking. That thing only has 1 part, so the only thing that rubber pad is $120, and they will last a long time. Anyway, we are 20 rolls in, and we should have about 4 wheat pennies, but we got 10 of them, which is double average. And we got this rare wheat penny, or this rare penny. This penny says dime, and yeah, it looks like a dime. That's a weird looking penny. That's the 10th dime I've ever gotten in a penny box since I started searching daily. I bet you this guy, the Gamers, has seen this error before. I've had this happen so many times lately. The girl you were told not to talk about. Excuse me. I got the hiccups. 17 Philly. I love the 17 Phillies. They're cool. That collecting 17 Phillies are not just a Vice collectible, but you can actually tell kind of like where the location is. The farther west you go, the less you get, and the farther east, the more you get. From 4 boxes in California, I think I only got like less than 17 Philadelphias. I wanted to take the boxes back to Illinois, but the problem is a box weighs 13 pounds, and I was going to transport more than 50. And, well, the limit for our plane was 50 pounds. So I had to search them in Washington State after I went up 101. And then I took the pennies home with me. There's an estimate. I used to take a knife and go shrink and slice down, but I actually noticed that it would leave streaks down the pennies. So therefore, because of that, I don't do that anymore. There's another Weedy. Where this other guy went? I think he lagged out. The 36 Philly. That's a pretty common one. That's number 11. So yeah, again, if you didn't hear me, gamers, I'm going to cut down from 9 boxes a week, which I was wanting to do, to 7. That's because of supply chain issues. On my last shipment cycle, I noticed that I wasn't getting as many boxes, so I stopped. So I think I'm going to like not go to as many. Maybe if there's another estimate. Maybe if I grow another pair, I can actually go to Chicago. Oh my god. What the actual hell? Okay. Gamers. Oh, there's more viewers. Do you think... Alright, so you got it from a Heartland, correct? Oh, there's a Canadian penny. I don't want to be personal. Did you get it from... Did you get it from 1101? It's the Heartland I'm talking about. It's across from a Chase Bank, and it's across from a Busey. There's only 3 Heartland banks in Champaign. It's across from a Busey, and it's got a fat... Oh, really? Hold on. Hold on. Sticky stuff. I hate that. It ain't this one, is it? Huh. What about Vine? I don't know. I like NF Sun and Strings. I remember I found like a lot of I remember once I used to have a 7 wheat penny per roll record once, but it was broken with 9 wheat pennies. I need to put that clip on my channel. There's another 09. Yeah, you should. And you know what the great thing about being a coin collector is that when you stop collecting money, you can get all your money back. Or if you're lucky, you can flip it. The only thing you won't be getting is the fuel that you spent to go get the pennies in the first place. Oh, that's an old-ass penny. That's a 1916. That's a 1910. Oh, my gosh. That's the second year of wheat penny ever struck. This is the second oldest Lincoln penny in existence. Well, year, I should say. Good grief. 1910. I rarely find anything before... Lucky. Kind of. I have a 1910. 147 million. I am lucky, but I'm also not. That's actually relatively... I wouldn't say really common, but a little bit uncommon. I would be really lucky if it was an S-minted variety. Man, if that was 1 year older, I tell you. Imagine I find a 1909 or a 1909 VDBS. If I find a 1909 VDBS, I might go take my S&P 15P, and I might go discharge roughly 50 rounds of 22 LR into the dirt out of happiness. Well, I gotta make sure I don't shoot into my septic system. In my yard, I have this green square where the septic field is. We're not on a city tap. We gotta go for the septic. Filling. This results in us having infinite water. Well, pause. We're halfway through the box. We should have 5 wheat pennies, and we have 12. So that's fun. Okay, continuing on. I calculated it, and we have new ponds. We expanded our water capacity by roughly 33.6 million gallons. We should have roughly 4 million gallons of water capacity, which is enough to fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool several times over. I think at least 8 times. So this means we have no water bill. But the only thing is, with that, is that we have to pay electricity to pump the water into our house. So, for example, what, lol? How would I have no water bill? Well, the thing is, I don't get water from a city. Now, the only problem with this is you have to actually, like, a city will filter your water, but you have to pay for it. But in the country, you have to filter your own water. So in the basement, I sit. Oh, there's nice, a lot of viewers. Thanks for watching. So when we have the water, it gets piped in to our basement. Oh, hello, Canadian Penny. Canadian Penny says hi. But so we have wells, right? So in the country, if you ever wonder how we get water, I don't know why you care. I just like talking about infrastructure. So you either get it from a well or you get it from a pond. We get it from a pond. Well, we get it from a well that's connected to a pond. So how we do this, we take a giant plastic pipe, you drill holes in it, and you seep it, or you dig a giant hole and you sink it below the water table. So the water will start to slip over. Now, I want to give you a warning. If you fall head first into a well, you better kiss your ass goodbye, because you will die. You will not get out. Because I want you to go grab yourself a tape measure. I want you to measure out 24 inches. That's how wide our well is. So if you fall head first down... Oh, by the way, not just that. The well is 20 foot deep. So, and actually, half of that well is flooded. So, I don't know if you know this. I don't think you're going to survive if you fall down a... Oh, there's old Canadian Penny. Look at that. Yeah, try climbing out. Wait, how do you know if a coin is like S or what? So, if you actually don't know, they have mint marks. There's a Liddy. There you get a better penny. CS 1999. Now, we have a thing called mint mark. So, in 1991, see that? It has no mint mark. So, that's a Philadelphia. This penny has a Denver mint mark, or a D. Again, that's from Denver. These pennies, we get a better one. Hard to see. These have an S mint mark, so it's a San Francisco. S mint marks are usually pretty uncommon. San Francisco does not make any more pennies that circulate. They shut down in 1994. But they do make proof coins, which are double struck, high quality coins. This is a proof penny. Ain't it pretty? I found it in a roll. It's actually in very good condition. There's barely any scratches on this thing. 1979. Shoot, I need to capsule that penny. For a copper penny in circulation, that's a proof. That's a very good penny. It's expensive to make the proof pennies because they're for the collectors. Now, remember I had said to you that San Francisco did not make any business pennies past 1974? This is 79S. These are extremely shiny. And they're very, very high quality. And you can go purchase these pennies. Yeah, I feel like the Denvers are... I actually think Denver wheat penny... Oh, that looks like a wheat... Oh, it's not. I'm pretty sure Denver wheat pennies are the most common wheaties. I actually have a database, and I took... analyzed the data, put it into a pie chart. I'm pretty sure a vast majority... I'm not saying majority... It's very closely similar to Philadelphia's, but they're not. But Denver makes it a little bit more. San Francisco is the rarest wheat penny type. That doesn't mean if you find a San Francisco, you're rich. Like, for example, a 44S is very common. I found one today. I don't find them every day, but you can find one if you look hard enough. It takes a while, especially because you live in Illinois. Illinois is far away from San Francisco. There's another Canadian penny. Sometimes I can also identify when a Canadian penny has dropped out of a roll, because listen, you can hear how light that is. Another one. I wonder how much 2025 proof sets are going for, because I have 25. I will say a disclaimer, proof coins past like 1976 are not that valuable. They're more for like, you know, just like a little Vice collectible. They don't go up in value, but they're pretty cool to own. Another thing I like about the proofs is that they give you like the best available quality of a coin. So you can cross-compare them. Although the manufacturing methods between business and proof coins are different. Again, like business pennies, like these ones I have right now, they're struck once and they're sent out. Meanwhile, a proof... 400, yeah, because Doge canceled pennies. Alright, there's another... We should have 6 wheat pennies. We got 12, so that's double. And a lot of Wheaties. Can't believe that's a 1910 penny. That's pretty good for a 1910. Yeah, I haven't found a 2025 penny yet. Well, it could be seen as a scam, but the problem is they're selling they're selling those pennies for numismatic numismatic value. Now, I will say a disclaimer. I live in Illinois. I live 14 hours from Denver, and I live 12 hours from Philadelphia. That is essentially in the middle of both mints. So for us in Illinois, it takes a very long time for new coins to circulate here. In fact, I'm not kidding you. I have not seen a 2020... I think I've seen like one 2025 nickel, and that's it. And it's June. It's almost halfway through the year. If you live in Texas, though, that's a different story. You get more bills faster, but the new coins, you don't get them as fast. I will say Illinois does make up for it because Illinois is a reserve state, just like Ohio, Virginia, Massachusetts, California, Missouri. Missouri is goated. Texas, Georgia. You know, when I get $1,000 in cash again, maybe I should do another $1,000 search. I search for, like, star notes. I don't care how valueless star notes are. I love them. Yeah, if what you're saying is true, and there's not a lot of 2025s in Cali, we're not going to get that many where I live. It will take ages for them to circulate here. Well, so, I'm going to tell you something. My most hated penny on earth is, I wouldn't say I really hate it, but I just don't like it, is the 1959 penny. There's a reason for this. The 1959 penny is the first year of Memorial penny. And it's actually the year directly after the wheat penny. So I see a 50s, and I think I'm going to get a wheat penny, and it's a 59, and I get sad. Gamers can probably attest to this. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. They get so annoying. In 2023, I took a trip to Cali. Man, you take all the expensive living out of Cali, and Cali's, in my opinion, Cali would be the best if it wasn't so expensive. It's so beautiful. The beaches in California are amazing. The soft sand, I've never felt sand so soft. It goes right between your toes, and it feels so nice. California sand is so good that I brought a sample of it back with me in a coin capsule. Pacific sand. I think, yeah, but it's not. That's a Memorial penny that's really beat up. Oh, I was gonna say something earlier about about pennies being canceled. Again, I'm sorry. Please don't cancel me. I'm not a big fan of Doge. I mean, they cut the national. I try not to get too political, although I'm a hypocrite. They cut the wheat penny. They try to cut the National Weather Service. And that just pisses me off because the National Weather Service was underfunded, and now the forecasts are a lot. Or not a lot, but they're a little bit worse. And I will say the penny. I will say we definitely need to make less pennies because they were flooding and pushing wheat pennies out of circulation. Speaking of the devil, let's see, 53 Denver. See, like for example, you see the 53. You see a D right there, Denver. D number 13. There's a bicentennial. When I say bicentennial or 09, I mentioned these. They were made in 2009, and they serve as a transitional penny between memorials and shields. So they serve as a transition. 17 Philadelphia. Between this reverse and that reverse. Okay. When I say 17 Philly, this penny has a Philadelphia mint mark on it, which is the only penny year to ever have a mint mark on it, because Philadelphia was the very first mint, and it opened in 1793. The Philadelphia Mint, unfortunately, the old one, the very first one, burnt down in like 1818, I believe, causing a cease in large cent production and other coins until the second one was rebuilt. Currently, the Philadelphia Mint is operating out of its fourth building. For the Denver Mint was an assay office. So if you don't know what assaying is, assay is where they take gold and they graded it. But later in 1906, the government purchased the assay office and converted it into a mint. Today, the Denver Mint produces the most coins of any mint in the entire world. Yeah, you gotta. There's 53 Denver. Number 14. Wheat penny 14. But, let's see if I was talking about what I was... Yeah, so of the many years of, let's see, 100 of the almost 119 years that Denver has been making coins, of any mint that's ever existed, the mint has only been robbed once, and that was from Denver. And they busted those guys. Today, the mint takes extreme security. They take gates, guards, keep people out. I've been to a mint, the one in San Francisco, which the one in San Francisco that's operating for proofs is the third building. The second one is called the Granite Lady. And it survived. Bro, I have escaped much penny aside, but... Nice. The Granite Lady, as it's called. By the way, if you fork over a hefty price of $15,000, you can get married in the secondary San Francisco Mint. It's also called the Granite Lady, and it no longer makes pennies or coins. Fun fact, the Granite Lady was sold from the government for only $1. That's right. A mint was sold for $1. Particularly, it was a Morgan dollar coin. I don't know what mint it was, but they sold it for a Morgan dollar. That building survived the great... There it is, 09. That building survived the great San Francisco earthquake. In fact, if you look at pictures, it was one of the only buildings survived. It operated as a bank for the entirety of San Francisco, or at least most of it, until San Francisco was rebuilt following the earthquake's destruction. Those are the 3 ones, but there's actually 8. 2 of them, Dahlonega and Charlotte, they were built near gold. They were established in, I think, 1838. And they struck only gold and silver. Dahlonega and Charlotte was shut down following the start of the Civil War. Carson City was erected in... the Carson City Mint was erected over in Nevada. It was because, I'm pretty sure, of the discovery of the Comstock lode. America's, or one of, if not the largest silver veins in America. It was shut down less than about 20 years after its start. And because of this, Carson Cities, or CC, so like, for example, like 18-something CC means Carson City. CC coins are some of the rarest in American circulation, along with Dahlonega and Charlotte. So actually the D mint mark was used, but remember, like, Dahlonega shut down in like the 1850s, whereas Denver started up in 1906. So there's a clear difference. You wouldn't know if it was made from Dahlonega, because again, they made gold. And if you ever have a Dahlonega coin, oh my gosh, those are rare. Another one was, oh, there's the wheat penny. Oh, there's an S, man. 50S, not bad. I like the S Mint pennies, the Wheaties. It's 15. But, New Orleans was started, I think, in 1838. And the New Orleans Mint was very predominant. It was at 17 Philly. It was occupied by the Confederacy, which actually allowed their workers to remain. I think they also used it as a fort. 17 Philly. Yep, that's a Philadelphia. Those are pretty common. Anything Philadelphia outside of 1933 and 32 is pretty rare. Or is pretty common. New Orleans was shut down in 1909, literally months before the wheat penny was struck. The other one was Manila, but Manila only operated for 3 years, and it was in the Philippines. It was shut down very quickly, and it was handed over to the Japanese Empire at that time. That's what they were. They were an empire. The other point, there's another 09. That's a pretty nice 09 penny. The last mint is the West Point Mint, and these guys were started in 1984, West Point, New York. They make palladium, platinum, and gold coins, although they have a small history of striking business coins. In 2019 and in 2020, they struck West Point quarters. So it's good to know that in 2019 and 2020, they were making park quarters. Every year saw 5 brand new quarters, or quarter designs. Every design. Oh, thanks for watching, viewers. There's a lot of viewers on here. When they were striking it, West Point struck 2 million coins per variety. So 2 million coins for 5 varieties, 2 years, 10 varieties total, so 20 million West Point quarters made. Unlike other mints that have their bags and just ship them out, West Point shipped their quarters to Philadelphia and Denver, mixed them in the bags, and distributed them, enticing collectors. Anyway, pause. We should have 10 more rolls left. We should have 8 wheat pennies, but we got 15. We're doing very good today. Fun. Oh, there's a Wheatie. 1950 Philly. We found a Philly 50S and then a 50 Philly. But fun fact, and this is going to bother a couple people because it bothers me. But now I know about it, you have to too. West Point is responsible, or at least according to the United States government, is responsible for striking a small amount of pennies without the mint mark. So some of the pennies that don't have a mint mark are from West Point. However, there is literally no distinction between them. And that really bothers me. And the reason that this was done is to prevent collectors like me from hoarding West Point pennies. Although in 2019, a special 2019 W penny was struck for collectors. West Point was going to strike uncirculated 2020 W nickels, but the pandemic shut that down real quickly. So West Point quarters are actually pretty rare, and they're much rarer than silver quarters. Each W Mint quarter can go for roughly $6 in average condition to $20 average condition, all the way up to several $1,000s if you have one in very, very good condition. The rarity of a West Point quarter, at least in Illinois, so that's actually pretty good because we might have the, actually I'm not saying the least rare. In California, you're gonna, if people like the West Coast, 17 Philly, you're not gonna have the best time getting these quarters. But in Illinois, their rarity is 1 out of 4,400 quarters. So if you search 2 boxes, you may not even get one. Now, the amount of W Mint quarters I found from like public coins from like people that put coins in their coin bag, and I search that coin bag, you usually will get anywhere between 0. Most of the times you'll get at least 1, but if you're lucky, you can get all the way up to 4. They are very hard to find. And if you want to collect West Pointies, I'm never calling them that. If you want to collect West Points, you better do it as soon as possible because they're actually relatively fresh. They were only struck 5 years ago. And they're going to start dying out in circulation really quickly. I have like 30 of them. By the way, fun fact. The 2020 ones will have a privy mark, V75, and that is placed in the outline of the World War II Memorial, which I actually visited when I went to Washington, D.C. At least, what was that, like years ago I went to Washington, D.C. But, the V75 signifies 75 years since the end of the Second World War. And this year, it will be the 80th year since the war was won. And this year will also be the 80th year since the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Just think about that. Man, we should never use nukes again. Hot take, we should just never use nukes. You know what I've also said? Like, what if we take the nuclear material? I'm sorry if I just keep yapping and yapping. What if we take the nuclear material from nukes, which is fissile, and use it for reactors? That would be so nice. We have thousands, tens of thousands of nukes. We could use all that fissile material for nuclear reactors. Stephen Philly. I didn't even mean to put that thing down the chute. But anyway, I was going to go back to steel pennies. Here's what I think the government should do. Strike steel. Why do I think so? Put a penny into a vending machine, and it's going to shoot it right back out. Vending machines are not built to take pennies. So, just make them out of steel. And here's why. I did some math, and at not including manufacturing costs, that I will say that's one con to my idea. Per weight, you would actually make money if you took steel and struck it into pennies. And in fact, in the Second World War, the government did make money striking pennies. So not only could we get more pennies, but the government would make money. Because steel is cheap. Iron literally makes up 6% of the Earth's crust. And that's only 50 miles down. And we've only gone like 7. So, on the Earth you stand on, 50 miles down, all across the globe, it's made of 6% iron and 8% aluminum. Iron is everywhere. That's why steel is cheap. Once you refine iron into steel, it's the cost to recirculate it is down. And you can melt it and recycle it, of course. Now, what the heck is steel? Why don't we just use iron? Well, steel is... if you're asking what, please tell me what you're saying what about. I don't know what you're saying what about. Yes, I saw that wheat penny. 37 Philly. Not bad. But, what was I saying? Damn it. Lost my train of thought. Oh, steel. The reason why we make steel is iron with carbon. And carbon is so common. Oh, that 6% of the Earth is iron. That's the crust. The core is made of a majority of like iron and nickel. And carbon. Carbon is used in steel to make it very strong. Just like how they put tungsten and carbon together. Tungsten carbide. Fun fact, tungsten carbide is actually better at blocking radiation than lead, but the reason they use lead is because lead is way cheaper. But anyway, so steel, iron is strong, but you can make it stronger by adding carbon, and carbon is so common that for every 200 cubic units of matter in the universe, one of those is carbon. Carbon makes up 0.5% of the universe, which is pretty high, and it doesn't sound like that, but like other elements like uranium make up like 0.00000 something percent of the universe, and yada yada yada. No, not the steel. Not the steel. Steel is not a natural material. It's a synthetic oh, that's not a wheat penny. It's a synthetic combination between carbon and steel. Iron, it's iron. Iron is found. Actually, iron's found in the entirety of the planet, but just 50 miles down, which is the crust. That's how deep the crust is. 50 miles down, and that layer of Earth is made of 6% iron and 8% aluminum. It's very common. But yeah, steel is very cheap. So honestly, it's like, I don't know, like, steel is really cheap to make. All you need is iron, which is everywhere, and carbon, which is also everywhere. And there you go. You just made iron stronger. That's like saying, I don't know how to put it, and I'm not trying to insult anybody's intelligence. It's like paying an extra $1 for like double the deal, basically. Carbon is simple. Just put carbon and steel, or carbon and iron, and bam. You got one of the strongest materials, or a relatively strong material for a pretty good price. Steel costs roughly, I think, $800 per ton. And with that, if you turned it into pennies, you could make roughly $3,000 or $2,500 of pennies. So you would literally like sextuple the value of steel if you struck it into pennies. But that's if you converted all the mass. You have to think about manufacturing costs. You have to think about shipping costs. Okay, this is the last roll. My Yap Fest is about to end. No wheat pennies. And that's okay. And by the way, another pretty big tip I can give to people that collect pennies, use gloves, because gloves will help you keep your hands cleaner. If you don't, you're going to need to use, I don't know if it's available in every state, but it's called D-Lead. And D-Lead is firearm soap. So I shoot guns, but not as much as I used to. But I still love guns. And of course, guns have lead. The bullets do. And so, therefore, I have this soap called D-Lead, and it gets all the heavy metals like copper, zinc, lead, iron off my hands. Because you have iron in your blood. You're not supposed to have copper. So that's another reason this copper cannot get through the skin or the epidermis, which is the outer layer of skin. And by the way, fun fact about your epidermis, the skin that you see on your hand right now was formed 2 weeks ago, and it's dead. And this dead layer of skin makes your layer of skin or epidermis roughly hydrophobic. So yeah, you're basically dead on the outside. 2 week old. The skin was formed 2 weeks ago, and it pushes out. But anyway, if you have cuts, I recommend you heavily get like gloves. It's not gonna kill you, but there is again like heavy metal poisoning. Nickel and copper can be toxic, and so can zinc. Actually, my sister is a veterinarian, and she says that it is very harmful to swallow these pennies. I told her, I'm like, and she's like, dude, it's toxic because of zinc. And these pennies are made of 95+% zinc content. So swallowing zinc can lead to zinc poisoning. Zinc is good for the body because it can provide some immune defense, which I took a lot of zinc. Not like, I didn't like OD on zinc, but I took a good amount of zinc during the pandemic. But, it can help you with your body, but if you take too much zinc, you can suffer zinc poisoning. Just like any other metal. Like, again, like copper poisoning. So that's why I wear gloves. And after I wear my gloves, even though I wear them, I also clean them. Or not clean, I wash my hands. So I'll be right back. And by the way, if you're wondering, oh, well, I don't have D-lead, I don't have gun soap, what can I do? In my opinion, the best way to clean copper, your hands will become as black as coal if you handle so many pennies. My best way to clean off your hands is to get a hot water, take soap, and just scrub for at least 20 seconds to a minute. It'll take 20 seconds to a minute of like warm to hot water. Scrub, 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 and it should come off. And here's the thing. After you do it, dry your hands, smell your hands. And if they smell like copper, keep going. I don't stop. And when I used to do that, I would not stop washing my hands until I didn't smell copper. So what's the... what do you call I don't know. Yeah. Alright, so what happens every time I stop a search? They're going to go into the Coinbatch database. That was a bad voice crack, sorry. This is my entry to my database. I will type in the data for where the box came from. I'll also enter in data for where the box came from, which bank it came from, the date it was searched, how many wheat pennies. All this gets input into a database. And that's another tip I can get for numismatics is if you can have extra time, keep data, because you can refer back to the past. You can get averages, and that's how I know I get average of roughly 620 copper pennies and like 10 to 15 wheat pennies. And yeah, so for example, amount of coins 2,500. Batch name is penny box 143. I'm sorry. Origin of the box came from a Chase bank. When I say location, when I say like location, I mean like its address. So I put the address of when the box is ordered, gonna watch your vid after. That's the total title. That's what I do. By the way, when I end the stream, every time I end a stream, it will be privated, but I will unprivate it really quickly after. Chase, okay. Number of pennies, 2,500. Wheat pennies, we got 16. Just want to check, make sure. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8. We got 17. Always good to double check. Got 17 Wheaties from there. 17 bicentennials. 7 of those. 17 Philadelphias. I'm going to end stream soon. There's 10, 15, 17. S-mints, we got a bunch of those. 9 of those. Woodies, we got 2 of those. Canadian pennies, we got 4. Copper pennies. What do you mean? Oh, that's a good amount of wheat pennies. We predicted 600 wheat and 600 coppers. We got a straggler. Now, I'm going to also tell you a really great tip that I want everybody watching to remember. Whenever you buy an expensive machine, you better be ready to fix that bad boy. 547. For example, I'll give you a second. I was going to buy a Glory WS21. And I didn't. Now this machine, I saved up a lot of money to buy it. This machine cost $3,100 after shipping. Look at how complex that is. The reason I didn't buy this is because this right here is, if one of these things breaks, I'm cooked. That cost $3,100 to wrap my coins. Meanwhile, these two machines cost me $1,100. Or at like $1,000 together. I saved $1,800 just by buying those machines. I used that money to go out and go eat. I used it to go get this watch. And trust me, I love that machine. And I can pump out about... Yeah, that's the problem. That the machines like this are very, very expensive. Actually, this is $500. I didn't even have to buy this. A fake penny? Like what? Like one of these? A teaching penny? I found one in a bankroll once like that. Okay, so you know what's fun? When I go classify my wheat pennies, I flip them upside down. That's why I put them wheat side up. I put them right side up, and then I go down. Copper, we're gonna have to start another bucket. Oh, we're almost done. Man, I remember when this was a third of the way full, like 3 weeks ago. Look at that. We did it. We made another bucket. We're going to program my machine. And we're going to dispense $250 into another bucket. And after we do that, we're going to seal it up and stop. We have 4 buckets full, so we have about $1,000 in coppers. There's the new bucket. I just broke it. So you know what? Hold on. You know what? I'll be kind. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and I'm not gonna explain more. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and we can just chat. When I take off my watch and I'm going to the bathroom, I'm not gonna explain more. You don't need to know. You don't want to. I will return shortly. I'm about to break about 2,500 Geneva Convention guidelines. Be patient. Be right back. Ugh, good grief. I will make no attempt to explain the events that have transpired approximately 23 and a half seconds ago. Oh boy, looks like we're getting full in pennies. We're gonna have to fabricate. We're gonna have to fabricate some rules. By the way, if anybody's ever wondered how the heck do people attach their watch bands, you actually, you push out like that. Like, there's these, little slots, see them? And then you can slide your, little wristband in it. I'm not one of those douches that, I'm not saying it's with everybody that has a watch. I don't like have a watch that to like, oh look, I have a watch. I have a lot of money. No, I don't have a watch. That's not why I have a watch. I have a watch because it's useful. I can tell my depth. I can tell me where I'm at. I can text people. And look at the top. My current location. That is the weather data for my current location. Be careful and try not to dox myself. And look at that. This is why I wanted the Apple Watch. I can see my radar. Let's see. Illinois. Ooh, we got a thunderstorm chance today. We got a little risk down here. Awesome. What's going on in Missouri? Looks like we got a line of storms. The way they actually allowed radar scope to be put onto a watch is insane. That is badass. Oops, you're not one to respond. Damn research radar. Switch this over to reflectivity. Got a couple clusters forming Missouri right now. Yes, it's got the logo of my channel. Like, here's a depth meter. I guess that's kind of cool. Oh shit! Nope. I almost showed my coordinates. God damn! I almost just doxed myself on stream. I would have had to delete the stream. That was close. Holy shit! I'd rather dox my address than my chords. My chords is like exactly where I'm at. I almost just exposed my chords, dude. That was close. Here's where some of the magic happened. Hold on. I'm gonna try to find your channel. Oh my god. This is why I have ad block. I'm not even gonna show it on my channel. This is why I have ad block. A new boob-tastic game is here. All rights for Gentleman's Harem RPG. A new titillating browser game. Don't look. I get accidentally temp banned, but then people literally just straight up giant cleavage on my frickin' advertisement. So you're telling me that we can't say die, kill, and death because advertisers may not like it, but you can put giant anime girls with big old cleavage. Yep, that's okay. But you can't talk about death. Or guns. Nope, can't do that. Gotta keep the advertisers happy, even though the advertisers are horny, weird people. Look, I mean, have your desires, man, but I'm just saying, you can't have your cake and eat it too, YouTube. I'm just saying, you say that we can't put this sexually explicit shit in my channel on the YouTube, which, okay, that's acceptable, but then you proceed to let advertisers literally just go hog wild. That is nuts. I'm gonna go attempt to look at my, Oh my god, I got 4 subs! Thank you, whoever subbed. Thanks, people. Okay, manage videos. I can go to people who subscribe me in 10 rolls. Dude. Do you mind to tell me where that one? Oh yeah, I'm gonna say you're a Champagne or Urbana. It doesn't matter because I buy from everyone. You may you may not be able to get that many wheat pennies if you go back because you may just have a lucky box. I'm not saying I'm jealous because I'm jealous. I'm just saying it because I've had a really good box. Like I found a 1909 and I went back to the other what do you want to call it? The other bank I found that 1909 at. And yeah, oh my gosh, the Skibidi toilet video short has 1,300 views. So I'm not surprised because that's a popular topic. Skibidi toilet. Yes. Okay, I'll shut up. Don't put me down. Give me a second. I need to go find you. Yep, okay, there we go. So I find comments, I find you, and then all I gotta do is just click on your channel. There we go. How to rob somebody in the Wild West on Roblox. Love it. Oh, you're gonna take a while to upload. I'll sub to you. Hey, I'm your 10th sub. Let's go. Yep. Ow. Yippee. Owie. Okay, let's do what we do best. Wheat pennies. Classification into the database. 1958 Denver. Looks pretty good. D. Good. And watch this. I place them face down because if I make an error like I did when I was classifying wheat pennies from yesterday to today, I can go in order. Next one is a 1944S that we found. So I click the year, and then I go down to the mint mark, and I have good. Now I classify this as good. It's faded, but the details are in decent order. If they're like really shiny, like kind of like this, it's uncirculated. If they're a mix between the two, it's great. If they have a little bit of corrosion or mark, like this one would be weathered, so it's like a 2 out of 5. And then if you literally can't read anything, it's a 1 out of 5, which is I rarely assign. So I'd classify this one as weathered. And it's got a crimson tint, which is pretty common for Wheaties. A lot of them will have these like really interesting crimson tints. Next, a 1917. We got a 1917, 1910, I was going to say 1916, but no, that 1916 wasn't a 16, it was a 10. Weathered, and I'd say woody appearance. Oh, I just spelled appearance wrong and I entered it. No, 29. Classify this one as weathered. I'm pretty unorganized. And no, these grades are not linked to like professional grading. This is not a professional grade. I'm just saying that. So I'm not touting it off as a professional grade. Now, you don't have to have this. The only problem is that if you do categorize pennies like this, it takes a long time. 1957 Denver. No, that's a Philadelphia. I'm dumb. Weathered. Black spot on top right of reverse. Now here is the shine of the show. 1920 Denver. That's a Denver. Too bad I didn't get an S1. Now I got two 1920 Denvers. I'm thinking about separating the ones under 50 million. Let's see, does it even have the In God We Trust? It does, but it's very faded. 1920 Denver. Faded. Moderate wear. 1941 Philadelphia. Good with a little bit of... What? 1973 S. Oh, I have a ton of them. And my S mints, when I went to California, I brought them back to the mint, and I took a picture of my S minted pennies at the gate of the 3rd San Francisco Mint. So they made a return trip. Why am I putting a D? That's not a Denver. Some grime on the top left of obverse. No, reverse. That's the reverse. The weedy. Trust me, you'll find one. Wait a second, gamer. Are you the guy? Did we meet? You told me that you found a box from Champagne. You told me that you live in Central Illinois. Are you the guy I met? Yes, I was looking for you, man. It's good to see you, dude. I can provide you good tips. I can tell you what to find, all that stuff. 73s are common, but S-minted ones are a little bit annoying to find, especially in Illinois, because again, we live so far away. 55 Philly. Even if you just put the years in, that's pretty good. You can get a good database what you're going on. That is the beautiful 1910. 1910. That's a 36 I'm holding. 36. If you're getting distracted, that's 36, and it's fine. 1910, which is most estimates I find is a 64 and a 69S. They range, by the way, you're like, oh my gosh, how do you know this? I just know. You're going to, and the memorial pennies, you're going to find them ranging from 1968 to 1974. 1910. Oh, that's a 10, all right. That's a 1910. It's actually not that bad for being a 1910. 53 Denver. 1953 Denver. It's pretty good. The way I stream this, would I'd kind of categorize it. Yeah, it's good, but I call them glimmer pennies because they only have a glimmer of shine in them. 19. What do you are? 53 Denver. Yes, you are. 1953 Denver with good. It's a glimmer penny. 1950S. Pretty good. Not that I'm not grateful. Too bad that that 20S, the 20 Denver was not a new one. 1950 Philly. Darkening on it. And the last one, which is a 37 Philly. Now, if you don't notice it, you're going to fill up your 1950s and your 1940s very, very fast. But you're going to start noticing that you're going to get into a pretty big pickle when you get to the 1910s and 20s and the Philadelphias and Denvers, like I've been talking and ranting about. That's because they have lower mintages, and I'll show you here in a second. Now, before you ever get jealous of me, don't. Because I've been collecting for 2.5 years, so I have a good amount of experience under my belt. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Starting at your age, and I know your age, but I'm not going to tell anybody. But starting at your age, which you're starting about roughly not too long before I did, is a very good age to start this at. I'm 19. I'm about to turn 20 in about 23 days. The younger you get into this hobby, the better. I wouldn't be surprised if our generation if our generations, we're probably going to be the last generations to really find wheat pennies at this level. They will not last much longer. So we must enjoy it while we have them at our grasp. There used to be so many of these Indian head pennies, but now they are... You started 3 months ago? Yeah, good. I started in Christmas of 22. So then, after that gets entered, I check how many I have, which I go down, and my sheet tells me that I have 17 cells highlighted. Then I do this. I actually, I bold them. And then I take I mean, you can do this any way you want. I take a thick line and I do that. And I highlight the cell. And I do this. I go to a dotted line and I make the ones that's like that. So like thinner dotted lines. It's easier to read. Center those. Put this as red. The mint marks are in blue. That's purple. There we go. That's better. Penny 143. Box 143. There's a lot of them. But yeah, I will tell you this. The best way to increase the amount of wheat pennies you can handle is to wrap them. Chase Bank will accept them. And a great thing, though, is that you want to find the sealed ones. The ones with the brown tape above. Or the brown tape on the top leading down to the sides. Alright. Join your friends, my little guys. By the way, if anybody wonders, why do I have so many of these streams? I'm at like Box 140. Where are the other 100 or so streams? They're on Instagram. I used to go to Instagram, but I don't anymore. There's just no need to. Instagram is a cesspool. Trust me. It's like all these crazy comments you see on Instagram and like YouTube shorts, they're not lying. Like Instagram is the Wild West of the internet. It's essentially like 4chan, man. So, I want you to observe. I need to find a way to post, like, Uh-oh. We have a... Oh. By the way, that's a sin. Oh. Damn. That is a sin in the coin world. You don't drop them. Well, I'm... Okay, in my defense, this roll is... This slot is very, very loose, and it comes off very easily. You're going to notice that you're going to fill your 40s and your 30s, your 40s, 50s, you're going to fill them immediately. But you're going to start realizing that it gets very difficult to fill the earlier years, especially the first page. Now, this is a Warman's book, or Warman's. I recommend this album. It's my favorite. Whitman is amazing, but this one has every single wheat penny you can find. So all 140 varieties. Excuse me. Let's see. It doesn't have many varieties, but it has 140. Yeah, this book is amazing. If you don't buy this book, the Whitman ones are pretty good. The 40S, I have that according to my database, but I do not have it displayed. I found this 46 Philadelphia penny very, very recently. This slot is loose. I've had this book for about 2 years. You can see some of the rare ones, like for example, like look at 1925, right? 140 million. Then you got the Denver, 1923. 140 million, 23 million, 26 million. These numbers together don't even exceed half. That's like 49 million. They don't even exceed like the halfway mark of the Philadelphia variants. And now, yeah, they don't exceed. That is why they're very hard to find. The S mints are a little bit annoying on the last, like the 50s. The 55S is going to be your hardest one to find on this page. This is a pain. I've only seen one, and it was from my coworker's possession. Remember I told you about the 20 Denvers and the San Franciscos? Look at that, like, bam, 15, 7 million. 9 million, 75 million. Oh, wait. 22 is a really weird year because 22s were only made in Denver. If you think that's bad, the rarest ones are 14S, 14 Denver, 1909 VDBS, 31S is ridiculous. 14 Denver 31S is going to be very, very, very rare. The 31S is the second rarest wheat penny behind the 1909 VDBS, which 484,000 of them were struck, and it's estimated that less than 20,000 are roaming circulation right now. I've searched for 2.5 years and I never found one. I bought this one from a store. I found this one naturally. 1919 and 1919 is pretty interesting. Like, look at that. 392, 57, 140 million. A lot of 1919s were made. Oh, let me give you. There you go. Bomb left on that page. A lot of those were made. I have a couple Denver ones for the Steelies, but I don't put them in there because they're bought. I think only a couple of these were bought. Most of them were found. Anyway. Man, it's impressive how much I've gotten. And the rarest one I got, 3,000 wheat pennies from my LCS. Oh my gosh. 3,000. How much do you got? How much you pay for that? 31 Denver's a pretty hard. Oh yeah, 31 Denver is insane. The rarest wheat penny I've ever naturally found was this one right here, the 32 Denver. That's not bad. 80. I mean, per wheat penny, my dad bought me like $80 for 1,000 of them. You got it cheaper per wheat penny. I mean, that's still a lot of money for a wheat penny, but who the hell cares? That's Wheaties, and I don't care. Wheaties are fun. Yes. 31. 33 Philadelphia is the rarest. Oh, no. 32 Philadelphia is the rarest Wheatie. I didn't even want anybody to buy me pennies. I don't buy Wheaties because I want the pride of finding them myself. You know what's funny? All the money I've paid for the machines that count coins for me it outweighs the price of a 1909 VDBS penny. So I could have, instead of buying these two coin machines, I could have bought the 1909 VDBS and just. But I'm very careful. If you try to find this, if you try to buy it, I want you to know there are a ton of scammers. This is one of the most counterfeited coins in existence, or at least from the United States in existence. People are scamming a-holes. And I'll tell you another. That 46 Philadelphia fell out again. I will tell you this. Do not, under any circumstances, do not buy uncirculated rolls. They're scams. Unsearched rolls. No. Nobody. Everybody searches rolls. Look at this. This is a roll I made. It looks brand new, don't it? Guess what? Nope, it's not. This roll was made by me. I actually made a short on it, and it's easy to make scam rolls. Just pay a couple $100 and you can just make them. This little $600 machine is what they use to build them. They're all scams. At least most of them are. So yeah, at your age, do not buy uncirculated rolls that claim that they're unsearched. Like, they never buy the rolls or piles or like bags that claim they're unsearched. No. They're searched. I actually saw a 1999S coin shop for only $40. That's not bad. The 1909S, even if it's not a VDB, it's pretty rare. By the way, I'm going to tell you a tip. On the VDBs, the B is centered, not the D. So it's the VDB, if you took a line down the reverse, it's roughly off-center a little bit. Why are they rare? The 1909 VDB is rare because they are actually the first Lincoln cent or wheat pennies. The VDB stands for Victor David Brenner. He designed the penny. But the controversy occurred when people accused Victor David Brenner of making it advertising. And they got pissed at this, so they shut down the line and they tried to take it back, but people hoarded them before they can circulate. But people hoarded them. Today, the 1909 VDBS is very rare. A circulated one will demand a price of up to $1,000. The cheapest one I've seen will go for like $700. They're very rare, but I would try to be very careful about buying them loose. You want to buy them in a slab, which a slab is a little bit more legit. And slabs are when they go to grade. By the way, if you ever send coins to go get graded, you have to pay a price. So you have to send the good ones in. Don't send any normal ones in. You want to only send like the error ones that are worth a ton of money. But you also want to be careful and do research and make sure they don't just outright steal your coin. Okay, guys. I hate to say this, but I'm gonna go. Oh, they can do that. Oh, they can. They will sometimes. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna probably stream some more Wolfenstein tonight. Tomorrow I will stream it Sunday. I have to go work. Sunday, I will be streaming my penny box search roughly after 12. I might do some big paintball. And by the way, if you play Roblox and you want to play big paintball too, we can friend. And another thing I can do is I can distribute legendary weapons because I have a lot of those. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to go because I have 20 minutes, so I have to go to work, and I have to file some weather reports that I have on my computer because I'm behind on those. Anyway, thank you. Can you accept my friend requests on Roblox? Oh, you were saying, oh, can you accept, okay. What's your name? Is it, what's your name? Is it Kulenzo? TNT bump. Okay. Okay, found you. Gotcha. This guy's... Dude, all the other people that have tried to friend request me, probably because they want to get all my loot. Ooh, somebody deleted an account. Oh, God. Hell no. Mining Inc. Remastered. I played a lot of that. What happened to Roblox avatars? Not only do we got the... What the hell? My farts hospitalized children. Dude, that's my chair. As long as I can make them laugh, it doesn't matter. It'll be all... What the hell? Why are these people so unhinged? They're so unhinged. Alright, see ya. Have a nice one. I will be on streaming probably tonight at roughly 10 o'clock Central. See ya.